I want some Pangus.
Yeah.
I want some Pangus.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about wine scores and critics' wine scores. A lot of people follow certain critics. There's a lot of really famous critics out there like Decanter, Robert Parker, James Suckling, and a lot of these critics have different reputations for their likes and dislikes. You have to kind of take it all with a grain of salt. So what we decided to do was come up with our own scoring method. And the reason why we did this is because while a lot of wines have scores, a lot of really great wines don't have scores. And we think that a lot of unscored wines deserve a little bit of credit. And not only that, it's a lot easier for the consumer to understand the quality behind a wine when they can quantify it with a number. So we're going to help you to do that.
Sounds fun.
I think it's going to be fun. Okay, so the wine that we're tasting today is called Sardon. It's from Quinta Sardonia, which is in Castilla y León in Spain. And it's made in the style of Ribera del Duero, or very similar to Ribera del Duero, and regionally it's pretty close to Ribera del Duero. Maybe I should say Ribera del Duero one more time.
Just once.
Just once.
Yeah, just to take a tongue twister.
And the estate was actually created by a Danish enologist named Peter Sissek, and he actually is the creator of Pangus, which is the second most expensive wine in
That's really good
Spain.
wine. That definitely has a score.
So Quinta Sardonia Sardon is made in a biodynamic style, so they follow the cycles of the sun, and the vineyard is on a plateau that's above the Duero River. It's a lot of hours of sunlight, so I anticipate before tasting this that it's going to be a fairly inky, intense styled wine. And just in the little bit of research that I did in advance, I know that this wine, after fermentation, is matured in oak barrels and then in concrete tanks. So 6 months in oak barrels and then 6 months in concrete tanks before it's bottled. Adam, what do you think about concrete tanks?
I mean, they're really good for when you're aging wine and you don't want, like as a winemaker, if you have the exact flavor profile you want from the wine and you don't want it to get any more oak or you don't want it to change anymore, using inert vessels like stainless steel, concrete, definitely something as a winemaker, if you're not ready to bottle yet, is something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it enhances the maturation without imparting any sort of flavor.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Good.
They like to do that in Spain. They like to.
It is pretty common in Spain,
Yeah.
isn't it? Apparently I pour for myself first.
That's okay. Ladies first.
Thank you. Oops.
Well, then you missed my glass.
Just a little bit. Thought I got my hand a little bit too. I don't pour wine for a living or anything. Okay. So we've got different criteria that we're gonna rate the wine on.
So our first category we have to score is the color. So usually we do that by looking at the intensity of the wine. Sometimes you get what's called rim variation, which is usually a sign of aging. So this one here is actually a really beautiful color. It's nice and clear. It's got this kind of really deep ruby red in the center for the core and like nice light red around the outside there. I like it.
Yeah, nice viscosity. It's definitely not thin. It's got a good intensity of color. So out of the 3 that we could potentially give to this category, I would give it a full 3 points.
I would too.
Okay, and then the aromatics, complexity. Well, first off, it's clean.
Yeah, no faults in this wine, not corked.
Definitely a few things jumping out right away, like dark fruit, pencil shavings. There's actually a small percentage of Cabernet Sauvignon blended in to the majority Tempranillo in this wine. So I think that's that little bit, pencil shavings. In addition to the Tempranillo, there's also small percentages of Garnacha, Syrah, and Malbec as well.
It's quite a blend.
Yeah, but dominantly Tempranillo. Black fruit, blueberry, crushed blackberry, fairly intensely aromatic.
Yeah, there's lots going on.
So clean, it gets a point for sure.
Yep. Complex, there's more than a couple things in there, so I think that also gives quite a few points.
I would say maybe 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like it's complex, but it's not incredibly complex.
Right, yeah.
It's an uncomplicated complex.
Whatever that means.
Okay, so the next category that we've got is true to varietal or true to the region.
Yeah, so this one, I mean, it's hard to say true to varietal because there's so many going on in there. And I can't pull out each one individually. So if we're going based on that one, I'm going to dock it a point just because I can't get all the different varietals.
Well, I was thinking that, I mean, it is fairly, I mean, and it's small percentages. So it's fairly true to Tempranillo as far as aromatics go. Maybe before we concrete these scores, we should taste it.
Ooh, yeah, I would.
Okay, let's taste it and then come back to that. Oh, wow. It's quite intense.
Yeah.
Nice tannin, acid, balance, alcohol. I mean, it all seems pretty balanced to me on the palate. Everything that you perceive. Maybe the only thing that's a little less is acid. Sorry, I interrupted you many times.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say that the acid is a little bit under everything else, which is odd for Tempranillo, but...
Hot climate.
Yeah.
I think that for palate, I think it's got a really outstanding palate. I'm going to give that one 4 out of 5. And then going back to the varietal character, I mean, given the breakdown of being mostly Tempranillo with those supporting grapes, I'm going to give it 2 out of 2.
I'm gonna dock it still point on the true to varietal, but the regional I'm definitely gonna give it.
And I was going to go opposite. I'm going to do 1 out of 2 on region, just because it's not a classic Spanish style, you know. Like, I mean, I can't necessarily dock it for not coming from Roberto or not coming from Rioja, but it isn't the classic style to me, anyways. I'm gonna have another sip before we judge what the finish is. And so finish, we're gonna give it a score out of 5. Still going.
Yep. I think the finish is great. I think it's an extremely long finish.
You gonna go for 5?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 5 on that one.
Wow, it's a good wine.
That's not bad. I'm really enjoying it.
It's still going.
I know, it's crazy.
5. Okay, and ageability.
That's tough on this one.
I don't think this is made to age. I mean, I think it does have ageability. I would say up to 5 years. I don't think it's going to improve with age.
No, it's kind of just going to settle in, maybe a little bit more complexity, but not much more.
Or just settle down a little bit as far as maybe some of the tannins goes. It might get a little bit more savory.
Yeah.
But I think it's at a great drinking window now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to lose any of the fruit on this wine. It's really, really nice right now. So, yeah, ageability, I would say 1 out of 3.
Yeah, 1 out of 3.
Just because we don't want it to age, so.
Right, and I think that maybe when this wine was first released, I would have given it maybe a little bit higher, but it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then overall, so this wine is on our shelf, I think around the $30 mark regularly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then on our e-offer price, it's actually going to be, I can't remember now.
$23.96?
$23.86?
$23.86? Somewhere in there.
Yeah, between $23.86 and $23.96. Which is an awesome value. I mean, I can still taste it. Like, that finish is going on and on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on and on and on and on and on.
For overall, I mean, price point, quality for the region, value for money. I think that my overall out of this is 5 out of 5. Maybe 4?
I'm gonna go 4 out of 5.
Okay, I felt like I was being maybe a little bit suckling on that 5 out of 5.
I'm gonna go a little more Parker on this one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 4 as well. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I think we deduced the same score if we added up. Yeah?
Yeah, 24 out of 30.
Really?
Yeah.
That is it?
Yeah.
So 24 out of 30. Some other critics start with a 50-point score. We felt that for the different categories that we want to judge it by, that 70 was the right
Minimum.
place to start. The
No
minimum.
69 wines. 70 is the minimum.
69 wines.
Just threw you right off.
Children.
Well, now we need to add it together and get our score, right? 70 plus our score.
Oh, 94.
Yeah, it's a good score.
Wow. On the Cellar standard scoring, we scored this wine a 94 points out of 100.
That's pretty good.
Which is an excellent wine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope that this helps a few of you who have a hard time maybe following what critic scores are. Comprehending critic scores can definitely be a challenge, but having somebody who's here, who you can talk to, who you can ask an opinion, I hope that this helps you. I know that a lot of people have come to trust the wines that we offer, and the wines that we offer we always stand behind. Being able to put a number on it, I think, holds some value, and we hope that you agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too.
Good.
We're in agreement. So check this wine out on our newsletter offer, and it'll be available on the website if there's anything left. And if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, make sure you do so on our website.
Excellent.
Cheers.
More cheers, all right.